Hi everyone, it's Tim. As you can see, it is winter. The Hudson River behind me right here is really icy right now, and the worst weather's still coming next week. And then I am super hopeful that it will finally start to warm up. It has not been a mild winter at all. Last year, in 2024, we had a very mild winter. It ended quite soon. I actually uncovered my trachycarpus down there in February, which was great. This year, we had some really super lows in December. We're having some really big lows next week. And usually in January, it's the last week of January, first weekend of February that it's the coldest, and then we start to warm up. So based on that, it seems like we're a week ahead, which I am hoping means that we are a week ahead and getting some nice warm weather here, but I don't know. And as the sun starts to come up behind me here, I'm hoping today it warms up a little bit, but yeah, the cold weather is on the way. So as you can see, my palms are back there all around. You can even see my Yucca rostrata back there. A couple of you asked, why do I still have ladders up around my palm structures? And that's because I am still dealing with the woolly woodpecker that keeps attacking my palm boxes, and it's really made some mess of them, and I have to keep checking, and I have streamers and all kinds of reflective tape down there to try to keep this woodpecker away from the insulation boards. It's leaving the frost cloth alone, but the tropicals, the Washingtonia robustas, the date palms, all of those that have a insulation board structure around them, that is where the woodpecker is going after them. And it's funny, when I was putting them up, there was one little woodpecker hanging out in my large Washingtonia robusta box before it was covered up, and I thought it was just enjoying the fact that it was a little warmer in there, blah blah blah. But no, it truly thinks it's a tree and truly thinks there are bugs or something in there, because it just keeps going at them. So in the spring, when I take them down, I'm going to have to do some major repair on these boards, because as most of you know, these insulation boards are not cheap. But it does seem to like the really wide. I have a couple that are 2 inches wide, because when I first got the insulation board, I thought I had to go that thick, and I've since learned that the 1 inch is just fine, or the 1/2 inch in some cases here. I keep experimenting with it, but 2 inches major overkill, and it's too hard to store. But that is what the woodpecker likes the most. So I thought today I would take you around and kind of show you in the snowy cold what is going on here, and things I like and things I don't like. So I'm starting to really look at what I want for spring and things I want to move around. So that's what I thought I'd take you through today. So right off the bat, this is coming through the gate. I have this spiral staircase that's metal and it needs to be painted, but I also have this honeysuckle bush that I do like, but it's looking a little ragged, and I think it's just gonna go. I'm gonna maybe move it and try to put it out by the fence. And as you can see, there's the boxes of my Washingtonia robusta. That's staying there, and there's my Robellini. But over here, I have clumping bamboo. And I am thinking right in the spot, if I move this clumping bamboo, which is hard to move, I could put my Canary Island date palm. That's one possibility. I'm going to show you more possibilities, and I would love for everyone to chime in on where they think it should go. But I think that might be a good place to put it. Maybe, because it'll look great from the house and great right when you walk in from the gate. Over here, I always say I'm not going to block the koi pond, but everything grows up right here, and I'm always shoving some tropicals in here. And I like, if you're coming through the gate and you're on the walk, that you can see the pond and my pomegranate tree. So I'm going to really try to keep this a little sparse this year. I say that and it won't work, but Yeah, it's hard to believe the koi pond is completely frozen right now, and it's so pretty in the spring. By the way, there's where the Canary Island date palm is right now. It's just in a precarious spot. It looks great, but it's really started to grow, and it's a little too close to the waterfall. And if it gets big and I'm really trying to cover it to keep it going for many years, that's just not a great place. So I know transplanting is not ideal, but I'm really going to try to do it this spring and get it done and get it thriving all summer long. That is the goal. And over here you can see I've got this flowering cherry right there. And you've seen it in some of my other videos, and it's got a lot of ivy growing up on it. I want to get rid of this because when it has its leaves, it really blocks the pool and the river from the deck. And I think I have some planting possibilities there. It's hollow on the inside. It does flower, but it also blocks the sun going into the pool. There's just lots of things, but mainly the ivy going up on it. And this ivy is I did not put it in. It's ivy that was there before me, and it's, as you can see, it's growing here. And then I've noticed now there are berries on the ivy, which I didn't even realize that English ivy produced berries. I thought it just multiplied like crazy by vines, but yep, there are berries on it. I'm zooming in on them. I'm going to show you, and all the more reason to take this thing out, even though the berries are kind of pretty on it. But yeah, I think this would open up a space, and I would love to put some palms here, but of course it's on the slope, and that's very hard to cover up anyway. But it's a really old tree. It's probably a good 40, 50 years old at least. It might have even been put in when the house was put in. And down here, I've got boxwood that I don't love boxwood on this hill. They just came with the house. I would love to take this out and put another palm there, maybe put a trachycarpus there. So I may try to transplant that boxwood in the spring too. And here at the pool, I always say I'm not going to block the view with stuff. And I end up doing that. But you can see where the tarps are. Those are bananas, Musa bastiu. I want to get rid of those or move them. I'm leaving, obviously, my Yucca rostratas and my tall Washingtonia robustas. But these two fig trees, I want out. I want them to go. I like the idea of having figs by the pool there, but they are blocking the view when you're in the pool, and I just want to clean that up a little bit. And also, it's blocking the fence, which this is a really cool Disney fence, and if anyone knows what I'm referring to there's an actual meaning when I say Disney fence. So maybe some Disney people know what this fence is, and there's a long story behind it, but I also would love if anybody could figure that out. And while I'm down here, I just want to show you that even with the best preparation, I still haven't even hooked the thermocube up to this Washingtonia robusta, but it's doing fine. I just keep plugging it in when it's cold out, but I need to seal this up and put a thermocube in here before some really low temperatures hit next week, so I've got to do that later on. Over here, I planted this clump of bamboo, and this is running bamboo, not clumping bamboo, and it's been great because originally I was concerned that the neighbors could see into the pool, but in the summertime, the leaves on the trees cover it up just fine. And now I'm wondering, this could be a great place for the Canary Island date palm too, because it's down by the pool, it's flat. So weigh in on that. If I took all of this bamboo out, which I know is going to be a big chore, and get rid of it and get rid of these burning bushes here, I could have that Canary Island date palm in the middle of that, and that might look really, really nice there. And then you get a nice view from the caboose, which is over here on the left, and that would be kind of a nice place to have the Canary Island date palm. So that's another option for it. And I'm also going to start the caboose outside renovation so that I can rent it out this summer. But I could put the Canary Island date palm right here in the center of this tiny bamboo. So that's kind of my third option so far to put the Canary Island date palm. But yes, the caboose needs work. I'm going to do that this summer. And here's the view from it in the side. But over here, I have some great rocks that I want to plant some more rhododendrons and things around. Maybe move some of them from the hill over there, over to this area, because it's kind of a blank canvas over here looking down onto the water. So that's an idea. And up beyond this wall, I have some invasive trees I need to take out. So all of these are invasive. They're Japanese honeysuckle, I believe, and they need to go. So that could be another planting area. I've got plenty of space. I just don't have all the time in the world. This is one of my southern magnolias, and hopefully it will bloom this year. I have another one up by the house that has bloomed. I do like them. I hope it grows nice and big. And over here, I did a patch of bamboo, and I'm going to let it get a little bit bigger and just keep it in a circle there just to block the neighbors a little bit in the wintertime. In the summer, you can't even see the house there, but it would be nice to have just a little bit of a bamboo grove there. I'm just looking back up toward the caboose and the bamboo there that I want to go regardless of whether I put the Canary Island date palm there or not. And this is my vineyard down here. And this definitely needs work. I've made wine one year, and it was pretty good. And then I've struggled with the grapes for the past 2 seasons. And I think it's because I pay too much attention to my tropicals and not enough to my grapes. And I need to get on YouTube and really learn what I'm doing to harvest these grapes. But I do like having the vines down there, and I like having a little vineyard down here. I think it looks pretty nice. And that's my path to the river. So if you've watched some of my other videos, you've seen me going down to the river to swim, which I really enjoy. Can't even imagine with all the ice out there right now, but might make that path a little bit bigger too. And then over here, I'm going to move some of my yuccas that are too big to keep bringing in the house. I brought them in this year, but I'm thinking maybe I will put them on the hill here. I just have to make sure I can cover them for the winter time, but that is a possibility there. Or I could put them over closer to my vegetable garden, which is right here, which I could probably maneuver them around. And I need to add to this as well. I like having raised beds for the vegetables just because it makes it a little bit easier to keep the grass out and contain them. And I had too many rabbits going after everything, so I put wire around it. So having a raised bed definitely helps with rabbits and groundhogs and pests that I have out here. And here I'm just zooming in on some of the ice in the river that is getting more and more and more. People used to be able to walk across this river in the wintertime. I don't think that's happened in the last 70 years or so, but who knows with this year, it's been so cold. But the current is pretty swift down there, so I doubt it will happen. Anyway, here's the front of the caboose. Just thought I'd show you the door. And that's where the Canary Island date could go right here too as well. So several possibilities. And up here where I have my Mediterranean palm and my Chilean wine palm, I'm pretty happy with this area. I think it looks really good when there's not a winter structure there, and I like the view from here. I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm just going to keep planting around with some great tropicals around it and make it look good, and maybe the grass a little bit better this year. But please like and subscribe, and please interact and tell me where you think that Canary Island date palm should go. And I got solar this week. So I now have a solar electricity system, solar power on my home, which I really like. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day.